my co-host Ingram, Adeyemi, Anderson Jones. This is the final lap of the show, and many wants to hear about the transfer market that has opened. Chelsea has been doing a brilliant job in the world of transfer. They've signed 2 players at the moment. They've signed David Datro Fofana, and he has opted for the number 11 jersey. He's a 20-year-old Ivorian striker, played for Molde in the Norwegian League, the former club of Erling Braut Haaland. And Chelsea has also signed Andre Santos from Brazil, 18-year-old midfielder. And they are going for another one, and this is going to be a record signing for Chelsea Football Club, £105 million for Enzo Fernandez, who happens to be the young best player in the just concluded FIFA World Cup for Argentina. He won the World Cup, and they are going for him for £105 million. And many have been talking about this and saying that Chelsea financial fair play rule will come on him, but with multiple sources saying this, that they are saying that the reason why financial fair play rule cannot bring their ban on Chelsea is because he's under 22. He's just 21 years old. So they can sign him, and Chelsea can claim that they are signing him to the academy. Although this is a player that has been playing first team football for Benfica. You saw him, he played almost all the game for Argentina in the World Cup, win a personal award for himself. So Chelsea, they are doing everything possible to get him signed that deal before he clocks 22. Because in some months' time, he's going to be 22. So they are doing everything possible. More news that we can use. Chelsea are still trying to hijack Arsenal's move for Mikhailo Modric. You know that guy? He's a Ukrainian, plays for Shakhtar Donetsk. Arsenal, as we've been hearing, that they are the one leading the chase for his signature, but now Chelsea wants to hijack the deal. Manchester United are considering taking Olivier Giroud on loan.
What?
Like a replacement for Cristiano Ronaldo that has gone to the Saudis.
Why don't they just go for Felix on loan?
João Felix.
Oh no.
And you know, they're looking at experience. Olivier Giroud is over 35. Cristiano Ronaldo that has left is 37, going to 38. So they are looking for experience. If you talk of João Felix is a young player, and they have so many young players in their forward line. Talking about Manchester United, we have Anthony Martial, we have Rashford, they have Jordan Sancho. So they can't be going, they need experience.
Jordan Sancho, if I had my way, I'd be swapping Felix for Sancho. Because Sancho's not doing anything.
Yeah, Sancho is not doing it.
So get rid of Sancho and bring in Felix.
But they need a striker that can boost the forward line when the experience is needed. They will need someone like Olivier Giroud, like what he did at Chelsea, and look at what he's doing for AC Milan, and look at what he did in the World Cup as well.
I see that.
Okay, Dortmund are ready to sell Bellingham in the summer.
I heard he was going to Liverpool. That was the story. But the next story I heard is going to Real Madrid.
But what Dortmund are saying now is that they don't want to sell him in the winter. This is the winter transfer window. So they want to sell him in the summer to make more money. Yes, to make more money. Liverpool continue to be interested in Matheus Nunes. You know him from Wolves. He's a midfielder from Sporting Lisbon, and they've tagged him to be the next Bruno Fernandes. But he's already doing it for Wolverhampton Wanderers. And one more news. Let's quickly cross over to the EPL. This weekend, we have big games that will be happening. The first game that will be happening this weekend, 12:30 on Saturday lunchtime, is the Manchester Derby. Manchester Derby. And, you know, many Arsenal fans will be licking their lips, biting their finger, waiting for that game to come up to see what will happen to Manchester City. But On the flip side, Arsenal too, they are going to London. They're going to their close rival. So your prediction in those games quickly.
I'm going with Man City to overturn Man United.
Man City to overturn Manchester United.
I told you about Haaland, didn't I?
Haaland, yeah. But Manchester United, they're in a rich vein of playing a sweet, flowing football, and you still expect them to lose to. Wow, at the theater of dream. Wow. Another one we are looking at is Brighton versus Liverpool, your second club.
Oh, Brighton are doing well, and Liverpool not doing so good. I don't know. Brighton are doing all right,
So are you seeing Liverpool losing 2 games back to back because they've just lost to Brentford?
They better not, because Klopp could be looking at the door. I'll tell you, Klopp is in trouble at the moment. I'll tell you.
I don't think he's in trouble because the owners of Liverpool, they've given him that freedom to do whatever he likes. Yeah. It's not like Chelsea that are.
Yeah, but you're getting beat 3-1 by Brentford. If you now can't get beat again now by Brighton, that's not going to look good. I expect. No, I don't know.
So we've talked about this one, Tottenham versus Arsenal. Yeah. Your prediction?
1-1 draw.
1-1 draw. I see that you don't even like Arteta at all.
Why is that?
You don't like Arteta at all?
I don't know. I just want to see. I don't know. I'm just.
Okay, so my producer has already given us that we should pack our gongboro and leave the show. But before we leave, let's give you this one: Chelsea versus Crystal Palace, another London derby. Is taking the day.
Chelsea.
Okay, Chelsea. Graham Potter. You're saving your job. Ingram Jones is saving your job for you.
Now, on Facebook, I saw earlier 2 games to go. 2 games. They've both given him 2 games.
They've given him 2 games. Yeah, 2 games. I think, yeah. I think they'll later fire him, and I'll be very, very happy. And this I'll be calling it a wrap on the show. But before we go, did you know that Cristiano Ronaldo has a clause, a very big clause in his Al Nassr contract that will allow him play if they qualify if Newcastle qualified for the Champions League next season?
Yeah, they're not going to want him playing at Newcastle, so that's going to be more controversy.
Okay, that's Ingram Jones talking. But me, I really want Newcastle to qualify, so we see Cristiano Ronaldo call Uroh come back, playing the Champions League again. This I'll be calling it a wrap on the show. Don't let the weekend weaken you. Till we meet again, same time, same station. Stay back for exciting programs that is still going on TNT television. Up next is movie time. As you see also, we don't go.
Solid march, Adol.
Cristiano Ronaldo. فاطمة قبل تحب كريستيانو لازم يسمع صوتهم لازم يسمع صوتهم كريستيانو. تفضلي فاطمة. Welcome. Thank you. Hello, Ronaldo. Hello. Welcome to your new home. And how does it feel to finally be here? Allah. يبي يتكلم معكم، عطوه فرصة.
حاب يتكلم معكم كريستيانو، نسمع مع بعض. يلا نسمع مع بعض، هنرجع نحييكم مرة ثانية. يلا فاطمة.
Cristiano, tell us, how does it feel to finally be here?
Well, for me, it's a pleasure to be here. It's an honor. I feel yesterday the welcome that they give to me, to my family. And of course, I will give my best for this club. Al Nassr, thank you, everybody.
They came, they saw, they drew. We're talking about Newcastle Football Club at the Emirates Stadium against Arsenal Football Club. The winning run has come to an end. Let's talk more about it on Sports Spectacular with my co-host.
Simeon, Uroh, yeah, welcome to Sports Spectacular. Yes, maybe he has forgotten the name, but the name still remains Simeon Uroh. It hasn't changed. This is a brand new year, and my very good friend here, Ingram Jones, is already giving us a new year cut. Right?
Yes.
Okay. We'll talk about Arsenal very, very soon on the show. We have a lot to talk about Arsenal and Chelsea and how they are doing. But let's go for this quick short break, and we'll be right back. Welcome back from the break. You're still on to Sports Spectacular. Yes, we are talking football. We are talking Arsenal Football Club. Previously, or last year, he said, that's Ingram Jones said that he's giving them up until Christmas. But he has changed the tone now. He said they need to play and defeat Newcastle.
Yes.
And eventually, they came, they saw, they drew. Before we talk about the local news, let's stay on this very, very one. They came, they saw, they drew.
Yes.
So what are you saying in a nutshell? Are you saying that for the fact that Arsenal couldn't defeat Newcastle, that they should forget about the league?
What I'm saying is this. If you notice the teams around in the Premiership, their form has been inconsistent. So for me, Newcastle's the barometer test. They were in good form themselves. They're well organised, good side, in great form. So if Arsenal had beaten them, I would have gone, right, yeah, this team can go on and definitely win the Premiership. But they didn't. They drew. They couldn't score the goal, couldn't unlock the Newcastle defence, which tells me if a Man City can play good, of course, Liverpool didn't do very well. They got beaten 3-1 by Brentford. So that's exactly what I'm talking about, inconsistency. So if you've got a good side now that's together, that's playing good football against an Arsenal side now, we'll see. Because they've done well off the back of teams that are not doing so well. So you've just seen them play against a good team that's organised, good form, and Arsenal can't beat them.
Okay, but my submission to the draw that just went down during the week is that I feel that the league is of two halves.
Absolutely.
The first half and the second half. And if you watch teams that are going to be champions of the Premier League, they get all their results in the first half and they start to grind results in the second half. So don't be surprised. And this is the second half we're talking about. So don't be surprised that Arsenal might not be scoring those too much goals again, but they've scored so many goals, kept clean sheets in the first half of the league. So they are not losing points. They are not losing 3 points, but they are grinding out results.
Okay, this is the first team they've played that's in good form.
Good form.
And they draw. Okay, the excuse could be, oh, Gabriel Jesus is out. We need another striker. Now they've been going for a new striker now. But let's see. Let's see. Arteta's playing good football. The team are playing good football. But again, it's a bit early to be calling him a world-class manager, one of the greatest managers in Premiership history. No, but if you go and look at some of the pundits out there in the world are saying that Arteta's a brilliant manager, he's a mastermind. I said, well, hold on. Then win the Premiership first.
Okay, since we started on the international scene, we will remain there on the international scene. So Arsenal should just take a chill pill and let's wait till May. That's what you are saying now.
No, I'm saying let's wait now. Let's wait and see. Quite literally.
Let's wait and see, because their next fixture is going to be a very, very big one. And it's a London derby, and it's happening this weekend. They're going to the White Hart Lane, which is the London Stadium now. And they're going to face a ruthless Tottenham Hotspur that didn't start the season very well. And Antonio Conte is under fire at the moment. So they couldn't defeat Newcastle at home in the Emirates. Are you seeing them defeating Tottenham?
They've got to beat Tottenham. I mean, seriously, they've got to beat Tottenham. If they really got ambitions of becoming Premier League champions, you've got to beat Tottenham. I'm saying that as an Arsenal fan, as a Gunner, they've got to beat Tottenham. I mean, if you're not beating Tottenham, then...
Okay, so if you're not beating Tottenham, then forget about the league. This is what is coming from Ingram Jones. If you're not beating Tottenham, forget about the league. But I trust Arsenal should do the 3 points over Tottenham.
You see, you're saying that you trust. You're not guaranteeing. You're not like, yeah, they're going to beat them.
Yeah. No, because you cannot just place your money on a team. You know, there's this word that says there's football is like biscuits. You don't know where it will crack. You don't know where it will crack. So,
I've never heard that one before.
okay.
Is that a local thing?
Yeah, yes, it's a local thing. But it's like biscuits. You don't know where it will crack. So you cannot predict Arsenal winning the league. That's why I say I trust that. I hope that they are going to continue to grind out results. Don't forget that the only thing Arsenal need right now is make sure that they don't lose. Once they don't lose, they get 3 points. They get a point, because of course the other team that is chasing Arsenal is Man City. Of course, you don't guarantee that Man City will win all their matches. So if Arsenal continue this way, or let's take for instance, if Arsenal draw all their matches and Manchester City drew all their matches too, then the league is going to the Emirates. The league is going to the Emirates. So what I'm saying is, what you'll be seeing going forward, and I believe this is what Arteta will tell the young Gunners, make sure you don't lose. Make sure you don't lose. Just get the results. Even if it is a point, get it. And that's what they are doing at the moment.
Not using the word lose in the dressing room. I'll be using the words get the win.
Okay, they should get the win. Get the win. Okay. I know this is coming from the coach perspective. Yeah. So this is how we're going for a very quick short break, and when we return, we'll cross over to the local scene. This is a New Year edition, and this is how we are changing things. And life is all about change, because they say change is constant. Stay right there. We'll be right back. Welcome back from the break. You're still on to Sports Spectacular. Of course, I told you before we went for that quick short break that we need to come back. Come back. In Yoruba, we say pada sile. Yeah, pada sile. So we are coming back home, and we'll start from this very news. Legendary Olympic gold medalist Chioma Ajunwa has decried the poor state of things in the Nigerian sports industry. Let's talk about the Nigerian sporting industry. How is it? At least you've been there before. How do you see during your time there? How do you see things? The administration.
I can't talk about administration about all sports because that would be unfair.
Yeah.
But it seems to be a common thread, not just in sports, of people being in positions of authority and power, not knowing what they're doing. And that is a problem. You put people there not because they're actually qualified and good at what they're doing, but they're there because they know someone. And that is evident in the way these people talk and the way these people go about developing sport. And it's hurting sport in general. So
the question is, when are we going to get things right? Or what is that thing we need to do to get things right?
Certification, verification. And, that's the way we're going to move forward. that people are certified at what they do and coming through the back door to cut all that backdoor stuff out, and actually people who have got a track record and a history of success. And once you've got those people in place, then they will create the vision for our youngsters.
Okay, so my very good friend here is also the co-host of the show, is telling us and letting all those that needs to know this, that certification and verification is the key to change our Nigerian sport. Let's cross over to the MPFL and give you news that you can use. The MPFL fixture is finally out.
Wow!
You gotta be kidding me. It's finally out, and the league will kick off January 8th. That's this weekend, this Sunday, and it's an abridged league. It's an abridged format with 20 clubs divided into 2 groups, and a Super 6 will be played to determine the champion. And the prize money for the champion is a whopping 100 million naira. So looking at the abridged setting, because this, I believe this is part of the reason why the league has not started yet up until this time. Some are saying that they should, make it a conference league where the Northern Conference, they play each other, the Southern Conference, they play each other, the Western and even the Eastern Conference. But going forward, they've said they want to do an abridged league. Do you see a good result from this step they are taking?
Ultimately, like I said it before and I'll say it again, a good league, you can pick from an organized league, an organized teams, you pick the best players from that to represent the national side. So if that's the way they need to go about it to get the national side organized, then so be it. Whatever it takes to get that national side qualifying and getting to the World Cup, then and being effective and successful in Africa, then that's what their priorities have got to be. So if that's the way the league's going to produce that, then so be it.
Okay, if that's the way the league is going to produce that, so be it. One quick one before we go for that quick short break. Let's talk about you see, if there should be any African team that will win the World Cup, which country are you looking at to win the World Cup? With the way the teams are playing, talk of players, form, names, and where they are playing, and the rest, structure and everything. Which country are we looking at?
Well, first thing we need to look at is the draw, the Africa draw, because every time Africa goes into a draw, it's always against top teams in the draw. So if FIFA can make it more favourable, then we've got a better chance. I could call any name out, but the draw has to be favourable.
Okay, so he said the draw has to be favourable. So we'll be going for a very quick short break, and when we return, we'll cross over to the world of transfer. Stay right there. This is Sports Spectacular.
Night here for Brentford.
What is the offside?
Offside position, yeah. Allison made the point straight away. As usual, it's tight, but perhaps he is just about off.
TNT.
There was a village called Kabino. It was named after a warrior of Kabino.